Yo, what's going on, everybody? OriChain here. Today I'm bringing you guys just a nice little market update. We're going to talk about what's been going on, what's been happening in the markets, what's happening with some coins that we've talked about in the past. So let's just jump right into it today. So I've talked about so many different coins over in the last, a couple of weeks, even a month. And some of my top ones, if you guys saw my last video, I'm focusing on OriChain, Techum, and I want to check these two out mainly. And then there's another one called Rocket X Exchange. We're going to just look at a bunch of different altcoins right now. And so this is Ori. I have it up right here. So OriChain, from when I started talking about it down here, right around $2. It's kind of been consolidating, but over the last week and a half to 2 weeks, it went up to about at least 100% at one point. I think it's down to maybe up to 60, 70% right now. Ori is looking really good. If you don't know what OriChain is, they're just a massive AI-based ecosystem built on Ethereum, and they do a lot with AI applications and just expanding the growth of AI throughout crypto. And OriChain is I still think very slept on project, and this is wrong. This is wrong right here. But just looking at the chart here, honestly, it's still very, very much so at a bottom. I know when we're looking at the grand scheme of things here on these charts, a lot of people think because we're down here right now. This is on the daily, so this is a whole, months, if not maybe over a year, 2 years, scale of the chart. But a lot of people are looking at it from here. A lot of people, many people are just watching the chart from here. And they're looking at this gain and these rises. Yeah, don't get me wrong. They have been insanely nice over the last few weeks. But you guys got to understand that this is absolutely nothing in regards to what's to come. When you look at the bottom of a chart, this is still going to be the bottom. A perfect example is literally Chart AI. I've covered this coin so many times. So I don't know if you guys have ever, let me delete this too. This is just the pump it had when they announced they wanted to work with NVIDIA. But this is what the chart looked like when I was looking at it all day, every day before it pumped. And I was looking at it down here, right? Because you think it launched here, it's gone up, then it had its pump. To me, this was the pump. I was like, yo, this is already pumped like crazy. I'm waiting for it to come back down, settle down. But then look what happened. It just absolutely skyrocketed. And again, this is still very early, very new project, right? But this is the kind of thing that people, if this is your first bull run, this is something you're not going to understand or fully, like I just said, understand. Because the gains are just going to be astronomically more than what you're seeing. And like I said, when I was looking at the chart, this whole area took up the whole chart, right? But now, when you're looking at the gains of the next leg up, how many pixels is all those ups and downs I was worried about, 2 weeks ago? Now look at this. These are the new levels that I'm actually watching on my chart. This it's I could draw the tiniest little box around the past levels on the chart here. This right here, this is literally the support area. This is it's tiny. But now you got this whole candle, and it's only going to continue. I'm not saying chart AI, no, it's not going to just keep going straight up, but in general, this is how crypto will move, especially when this bull run kicks off. This is how crypto is going to move. It's going to just pump like you just saw, pump up, kind of chill out, do whatever. Then it's going to have an explosive move up, continue, probably end up pulling back again pretty hard, and then just ripping again. And it's going to do that multiple times. And especially if you catch certain narratives right on the bat and you nail it, the gains you're going to see it's just going to look like a literal escalator just to the upside for a long time. So that's what I just wanted to show you guys real quick with the chart. But let's go back to what I wanted to talk about with Ori and Techum. So we're gonna check out Techum because Ori, like I said, it's still like I feel like it's still at a fair bottom area, you know. And Techum too, like you can just see this. And I've talked about Uniswap in the past and how when Uniswap launched, it did something like this. Had a nice launch, it went to a few bucks, came back down, sat around, kind of did this, and eventually just went boom. Not like that. It went like this, came up, and eventually just shot up. And this is what I mean, is like I'm still looking at, these are some of my most bullish plays right now in the space. And, you know, they had massive gains in the last, few days, few weeks. But again, these are still fairly small moves for what is actually going to come. And that's what I want people to understand. Is like, just wait. Just keep holding. You know, if you're buying in at these levels, you know, if you're buying in at these levels, buy small. You know, because at the end of the day, when things are going to start moving again, it's like, look at this. You could buy here. You could buy down here. You could buy the literal bottom. You could have bought here. You could have bought up here, bro. You know, you could have bought Techum months ago and you thought it was still going to go to $200. You know, and eventually it's going to catch up. No matter where you buy in, as long as you either hold or if you're getting in on peaks like this, just go in small and wait. Have the patience to wait, because when something is hyped up, it's going to drop again eventually. So this is, Techum right now is actually kind of at a resistance. So I do not expect, honestly, many of these coins to really continue going much higher without some sort of pullback. So I could expect Techum, it could go all the way back down to around $4, potentially over the next, maybe a couple weeks. That is if crypto continues how it is. But if Bitcoin continues to moonshot and somehow keep going up, which again, I'm not bearish on Bitcoin. Like, I've been bearish in the sense that I want crypto to fall again. I think it's got to have another retrace before it really starts pushing to the full out upside. That's still my opinion. And at some point, I'm curious to see if that plays out. But I'm still heavily invested in the market, even at these prices. But again, Techum could pull something like, again, where I keep messing up with these tools. Where's the pen tool? There it is, or brush. You know, it's probably, that was not. It's probably going to do something like this, chill out. It's probably going to come down back here, consolidate. You know, it could do something like this, chill out. Until eventually it's just going to break out. Which, in my opinion, I don't think it's just going to go like this and continue up from here. But that's how I play the game. I always play it safe. You know, because worst case, things go against me, and I do what? I make money. You know, so I can't complain. So I'd rather be bearish and expect downside than to just expect upside and then get burned, you know. So that's what I'm waiting for. Like, it is kind of at a midterm resistance here, just with this level here. So I'm just waiting. We're going to wait and see what Bitcoin does. And the third one that I wanted to talk about are RVF again, Rocket X Exchange. So it has been moon sending, bro. I've been trying to jump into this, but I will not buy at levels like this. Like, I'm sorry. Even at market cap is beautiful still. For the grand scheme of where this project is going, this is still going to do unbelievable. But I don't like to buy on peaks specifically, because just look how sharp of a move up this has been. Like, I want to wait for a nice pullback to get in. You know, and people will probably look at my charts like, what are you doing? You know, and I've talked about it before, but this is kind of how I play it with pretty much every altcoin that I talk about. Is like, especially when you see something with a lot of hype eventually push up, when hype dies down from a coin, and it will, you know, you will hear about a coin if it's popular for about 2 to 3 weeks, you know, before it eventually has to come down, might retrace, might shoot up again, but eventually the hype will start dying down. It's probably going to pull something like this. You know, I don't know. It's not going to look pretty, but eventually it will slow down on a nice retrace. that's probably when it's time to buy. But the reason why I draw all these green and red Fibonacci, even though it's just like, this is a good buy zone. For some reason, if price comes all the way back down to this level, this is a golden opportunity zone to get into the market. And I'm going to make another video explaining how I actually set this up. Because what you can do is, depending on how conserved people are, or conservative, you can set this fib up in any sort of way that you want. Like, if you want to figure out when you should be buying, even if you see a price go skyrocket like that, this simple chart is going to give you a rough idea of when to get into a project. And I'll show you one right now. So this is Soil. Soil is a solid project in my opinion. And you can see it right here. So like, this was the launch of Soil. It came down, had a nice pump up. But now where is it? It is flatlined. It is right in the green zone, which again, price is going to continue. It might stay sideways, continue right around here. But eventually when price flattens out, it's probably going to be somewhat in this green area. And it's eventually going to pump, come right back out, and just start just hitting the moon. So Soil itself, I've talked about before, like I said in a couple videos. I really think this project has massive potential in the space. I want to see this one really take off. And that's a great buy zone right there. That's just an example. Sorry, my computer's always slow. Liquid Pro. Let's see if we can pull up Liquid. I just dropped a video on it. I'm very bullish on Liquid Protocol. Yeah, there's a nice target for you. But anyways, I think I had this up in the other video, but it's like the same thing. Like, I mean, with a project this bullish, do I expect price to actually come back down here eventually? That I can't say. But the way that I manage my risk with it is, if I want to get into this project, I'm not making massive buys in one area. I'm waiting and waiting. I will wait for price and the hype to just die. I really think this is eventually going to pull something like this. Yeah, my finger just keeps slipping with those. Probably going to do something like this. Eventually come down and it's going to chill out. It'll chill out for a while and you're going to be like, bro, this was a literal pump and dump. But it's not. That is how, when projects launch, this is exactly how they work. They're going to sit, they will pump whatever for a few days to even weeks, sometimes a month and a half. They will come right back down. They will settle down once the hype is over. And when 0 people are talking about this project, or not even this one specifically, but any project, one, price is going to be in the green zone. That's how you're going to know. Price is going to look like it is flatlined. It will have low volume. Not many people are going to be talking about it. But what matters is the tech and the team behind it. If it's got the utility, it's got the use case, but the hype is not there, especially if it's brand new as well, like this one, that is so key, because narratives just cycle and cycle and cycle. Like, if you're looking for an AI play, when real world assets are pumping, like, that's going to be your time to be watching AI coins, because where's the attention right now? It's all on RWAs, or certain narratives. Like, if crypto gaming starts flying because one of the best crypto games the space has ever seen just launched, probably a lot of coins are going to be pumping alongside it, but crypto games are going to be flying. You should be looking at other narratives if you're trying to get allocated for long-term holds, because those are going to be some of your best times. And obviously massive dips in the market, but anyways, I'm kind of just throwing random stuff together in this video because I wanted to cover just those main 3, but these are just a couple more I might as well throw in because I really like this project too. And if this can get around $1 million in market cap, definitely going to have a signal out. I'm going to be looking to get inside this project. But yeah, there's just a little bit more for you guys. Let me pull up RVF though. And I'm going to pull up ZapX as well. Still one of my favorite projects in the space right now. Anyone can say what they want, but I love ZapX, bro. It's literally with this project just has a smaller market cap. Very similar utility. This one is a very safe bet. If you want to make safe, insane gains, I feel like RVF long term, if you wait for dips too, honestly, is going to be key. Again, just wait for price to play out. It's probably going to try to push 3 times before it falls. It's going to fall like that. It's going to come back up. And it's probably just eventually going to have a hard dump. Chill out until it resets. And it might continue on again. You know, a good example of that. I mean, that's kind of what I got for RVF here. And again, Rocket Vault's exchange, I haven't even told you guys what it is if you're new. It's just a cross-chain aggregator DEX. So what that means is, like, if you're familiar with Uniswap, or if you know what a DEX is, you can swap your assets, as in like your cryptocurrencies, without using like a centralized exchange like Coinbase or something. But what RVF does is you can switch between blockchains interchangeably at any time, and you can change a multitude of tokens across a multitude of chains. And I think this bull run, this is going to be one of the best DeFi plays that you can make. Even though I don't even know if people would consider that full-out DeFi play in comparison to like lending and borrowing type projects, but I think cross-chain DEXs I'm still so bullish on long term because those are going to get the volume. That is exactly why. Cross-chain protocols are going to get some of the most volume in the space. Why? Because everyone needs to change their tokens to other tokens. It's part of the game. And especially if you get a nice one with a small market cap like ZapX. And again too, ZapX chart, it's still looking fairly good. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. ZapX just launched. It was hype. Everyone was super hype about it. And it's starting to come down. Why? Because some of the hype is starting to fade out, It's probably going to do something like this. It may come down a little bit. It's going to chill out for a while. I've already been DCAing into ZapX multiple times at this point. And I'm still expecting it to go lower. I'm still expecting it to drop. And I'm still putting money in. Why? Because that is how I play the game, bro. Because when this really has its move, what we're worrying about here is going to look like this in comparison to the pump that's going to hit. That's why. It's like when you're on a plane and you look at cars. When you're in person looking at a car, it's they're massive. But when you're on a plane looking at a car, they look like literal ants, and that's exactly what is going to happen with this. These 2 pixels that we're worried about here is going to look like 2 pixels that we're worried about here in comparison to worrying about the entire screen's worth of a chart, right? So anyways, that's kind of what I wanted to just throw together with this video. Kind of just a chart analysis, giving you guys some more tips about the market, how I'm investing in coins. Because I think it's so important that you guys understand. I guess my mindset going into investing into these projects, is a lot of people are very familiar with just throwing money at a coin that's talked about in a video, but I'm telling you, you guys need to play it safe and understand when you should be buying. Just because something's shilled or people talk about it all the time, unless it's at a low, good entry price, it doesn't mean you should be buying. This is why I'm here. I'm trying to show you guys very good projects, whether they are in the early stages now or their hype stage. I want you guys to get into these projects that are still going to do very well after their hype falls down, just like ZapX here. Like I said, if it starts to pump and starts to move, again, I'll be very happy with that. But in the long term, again, I'm holding. Potentially is going to go down a little bit. Eventually it's going to pick up again. And it's probably going to make new all-time highs at some point. So that's what I'm expecting from ZapX and everything else that I've talked about. So we'll see. And that's all I got for you guys in this video. Thank you for watching.